Action. Cool. Yeah, I can see the record button. Apologise in advance for me looking not directly at the camera. I've got two screens, so I'm looking at the bigger screen so I can actually read what I've presented. So today we're going to be speaking about Barter card and BBX. I thought I would throw BBX in there. It is pretty much exactly like Barter card. I prefer it in some aspects to Barter card, but then in other aspects I prefer Barter card over BBX. So they've both got their pros, they've both got, I wouldn't say cons, there's no cons about this type of setup and system, but maybe just some things that, you know, just to look out for, some kind of disclaimers. So I'm Elise, I'm in Adelaide. Apologies if I kind of like look to the side next to me. I've just got my daughter down there. But I've got the TV on, so hopefully she just like, you know, she's zoomed in. So I'm in Adelaide. I am a qualified real estate agent. I have my own agency here in Adelaide. So always happy to offer advice as well on the side if anyone needs anything. But yeah, let's get into it. I don't want to keep everyone and know it's a public holiday. So let's skip to the next slide. Okay, so Barter card. Oh,
I will just mute everyone to start with. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. Yep, I think we're all good. Maybe there's one Samsung Galaxy at the end. I don't know. So, okay, we're all good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Barter card and BBX, they are essentially trading platforms. Just like, you know, cryptocurrency, they are a different avenue than spending real dollars. So what Barter card essentially does for you as a client of the system is you would offer a service, you would offer a product, you would offer your time, and instead of getting paid cash for that, you would get paid in Barter card dollars or BBX dollars. So for example, my husband has been a member of Barter card and BBX for over 15 years. And he has a web development agency. So every website that he ever builds, every digital marketing campaign, every landing page that he does, he will find clients on Barter card or BBX. They'll actually come to him on the database, which is online, logged in, like you log on to the website and you can scroll the directory and see the services that you essentially need. So instead of getting paid $3,000 in cash, he would charge them, this is a pro of being on Barter card and BBX, is you can increase your rate, which a lot of people do, to collect more Barter card dollars or BBX dollars than as you would normal dollars, so like normal money. So he would then, and me, offering my real estate services, selling homes on Barter card and BBX, instead of charging, you know, 1.5% or, you know, $8,000 to sell a home or $3,000 to build a website, you could charge $16,000 to sell a home or $6,000 to build a website. So there is that little leeway, which I like. And we're not the only ones that do it. Every single business does it on there. But it's a good way to boost that part of a side income. It's kind of like, you know, if you're tight on money, if you've lost your job, if you've been made redundant, if you've got way too many outgoings financially, then at least you can kind of dip into your Barter card or BBX and find services and products that you may need. You know, for example, we had a plumber come in 2 days ago, $250 to clean the kitchen sink, and that was deducted from our barter card little cash portfolio. So instead of paying cash, which sucks for things like that, you know, it's good to kind of dip into this. So if you've got a service or a product or something of value that people need, it may be you may be an accountant, you may be a baker, you may be a hairdresser, you may be a civil engineer or a builder or you know, a vet, then you can sign up to Barter Card and BBX, and you can offer your services and become a member in the directory, and people will search you and call you up. So it's really good in the aspect of offering your services and getting these things like in kind of back, you know, like it goes full circle, which is awesome. And there's so many things on there that that you can, you know, spend your money on. So little things like we just moved homes and we needed a removalist. So obviously we searched the directory and boom, there's a removalist in Adelaide. He did 3 round trips and it cost us $900 Barter Card dollars. So that's something that we didn't actually have to fork out for because we just had our little cash portfolio there. And I think if you do sell a high ticket item like real estate or like accounting or, you know, building, if you're building homes and you're doing $30,000 service jobs or, you know, again, like David, my partner, web development, that adds up. But don't discount it if you do sell, you know, things of less value, because the more clients you get, obviously that all adds up. So that's the pro of using this system, and that's probably not why we're, I guess, here. We're probably here more for the property side of things, but I just wanted to, you know, what it actually does. So the way you get new business is obviously through the directory. The way that you're advertised is through the directory, through the newsletters, and it's been going strong for very long. It was created in Queensland, and you really just troll the directory for services in your area, and you'll be surprised. It's a worldwide system, and you know, they're really heavily focused in Asia, in New Zealand, in Australia, and there's a lot of businesses as well and people on here that actually have businesses and things that like businesses overseas that you can actually kind of claim on barter cards. So, and that kind of brings me into the travel. So they offer a lot of travel on Barter Card and BBX, and we'll go through that soon on the next slide. But first, I'll just drop down to the next one. You can buy and sell property on BBX and Barter Card, and the property, we'll get into the property bit in a minute, but the property valuations are the only thing, which is great for us as buyers, are the only things that they cannot inflate. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm inflating my services by a couple of thousand, don't think that the businesses or the property that's listed on these websites are inflated, because legally they cannot be. So they are set by valuers and bank valuations. And then also you can buy businesses on here. I know some people, Annie, buy businesses on here and make money off of that. But we'll get into that next. Okay, next slide. Okay, so things to watch out for by signing up to Barter Card and BBX, which again, this is not like a negative, but GST obviously has to be paid. So the bank and the ATO, sorry, sees it as real money. So there's not really a way of getting around that. And that's why a lot of businesses say that you know, oh, I will trade my services, my time, my product for BBX and Barter card dollars, but the GST, you need to pay me in cash, because obviously that just goes to the ATO anyway. So yeah, so that's one of the things that I would recommend and suggest that every kind of business does. The second thing is, a lot of the times, which I find, and it gets really annoying, but a lot of businesses, when you call them up and you're like, oh, hi, I need a plumber, I saw you on the Barter card directory, they will be like, yeah, it's 50-50. So a lot of the times they may inflate their price a little bit, and then they will only charge you, they will only deduct 50% of that on Barter card or BBX. It kind of sucks because, you know, there's businesses out there like us that do full trade. And then you do find a lot of the time that if you go to a normal, just someone, you know, on Google, it's a lot cheaper and you're paying full cash. So there's little things that you got to watch out for like that. Like, some people can be dodgy, but it is what it is. People can be dodgy in real life anyway. And then also, I forgot to mention, restaurants are heavily, like, hospitality is heavily kind of on Barter card, and heavily advertised on Barter card and BBX. So, you know, you'll often go out for dinners and whatever, and it'll be completely paid for on Barter card. So that's always a plus, especially when you're traveling interstate. It's good to kind of keep your costs low. So Barter card, okay, so the one thing about Barter card that I don't like in comparison to BBX is there is a fee. So Barter card does charge a fee on all transactions, and that's to 10% to both the seller and the buyer. So in regards to that, it can get costly, but that is just added to your monthly bill, your monthly invoice that gets sent out to you. But it's a whole dashboard online, like basically an online banking system. And then you can see your deductions, your monthly statements, etc. So, and then you just pay that out. But you know, on, you know, a $250 kind of trade, it's only $25. But when you are doing high ticket items, it can get a little bit costly, and that's for actually giving someone the product. Whereas, and actually buying the product, you actually have to pay, which can suck a little. Whereas on BBX, only the seller pays, so the buyer does not pay the fee, which I think is a lot fairer, because you know, you're kind of boosting someone's business. Why should you have to pay a fee, you know, for doing that? I completely understand a fee for conducting business, but for buying business, I don't, yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's what it is. So yeah, so just little things to watch out for. Next slide. Okay, cool. So this is the travel part. I did link the websites prior on the first couple of pages. So if you are on your phone, or if this is minimized and you're scrolling through, it'll tell you how to sign up and everything, and the pros. This is obviously an overview, but there's so much more information on the websites. But they're really kind of good when you go onto the directory part of the online kind of account management system, because they also do what is kind of like eBay, and you'll see a lot of businesses' products all on there, and you can just click and purchase like eBay or do a bid. So don't tell anyone, but I got a lot of Christmas presents on there. Yeah, that kind of saved me a lot of money after the big move. Sorry, just checking on my kid. So yeah, so they're, you know, just really cute things. And then, you know, you can buy, David and I were like, okay, let's see if we can do a whole wedding on Barter card. That didn't happen, but there's lots of, like, you know, caterers and this and that. So it's a good way to kind of reduce outgoings. But the beauty about Barter card, hang on one sec. all good. The beauty about Barter and BBX is that it isn't just about a directory and trading your services and property. There's also travel. So this is one of the this is the website. So it's bartercardtravel.com.au. And what it does is all of these, so every kind of month you'll get an email and it will say, you know, hot destinations that are trading on Bartercard right now. So a couple of months ago we went to Bali and the whole, it was a 4-bedroom villa in Seminyak and it was all on trades. So that came to about $3,500, but it was all trades. So we didn't actually have to pay for accommodation. And they're all over the world. So you can literally go as far as Mexico, and there are accommodation and hotels and villas and people's private apartments, which is a great way to make money if you are purchasing property on Bartercard, and to kind of reclaim that credit is to obviously then pop it on Bartercard Travel and Bartercard Tourism, whatever you want to call it, and claim that kind of credit back. So there's always people looking for holidays and, oh, sorry, 1 second. That will be, I just have to pause for 1 sec. Annie, do you want to just tell everyone what happened and why I have to just duck out for 1 second? Okay.
Yeah, actually, Alice just moved to the new home, and last night was a break-in, so that's why she was a little bit keep watching out her kids as well. Now, a good thing about this Bartercard is I know before I used to use a Bartercard system. Like in a real estate, say for example, just give a little voucher to the customers. Then we spend, we go to the restaurant as well. We pay with the Bartercard, so we don't have to pay money, and that's a good thing about it. Especially like if we are short money at the time, we can just use this service. That's what is I found it really good for Bartercard. Has anyone questioned so far? Okay, I will unmute everyone if I know how to do it. Any questions so far?
No, nothing as of now from me. Annie, thank you.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Now, there are a few of them outside. There's some of them is Bartercard, and there is another one they call it community something, and that's what's run by Daryl Aston. Is he is in our member as well. And we might be able, we might invite him to talk about more about this Bartercard in future, like maybe in 2 weeks' time. Obviously, this Bartercard is a really good service. The thing I found it is good when we really don't have enough money, then we would like to do something and just use this Bartercard. That's what the advantage I found.
Sorry, guys. Did you tell them what happened?
Yes, I did it last night. You just break in, and that's what's happened.
Honestly, so I just got broken into, and I was just getting the door replaced. Sorry, so it's all done. I feel safe now. I can sleep tonight. Okay, good. So, were you touching on what you use Bartercard for, or? Yeah,
that's it. I just said, well, look, I used to use Bartercard, and yeah, it's a really good.
Yeah, it is. All right, cool. So sorry, guys. I'm really sorry about that. So in regards to travel, it's really good to obviously, again, keep your costs low. They don't do flights or anything. You just you book your own flights. And they're quite flexible with dates as well, especially if they're hotel related. If they're private villa related or service apartments, can get a little bit tricky. and you kind of have to just read the terms and conditions. But you can hit the jackpot. Every time I go to Sydney, I stay in a hotel in Surrey Hills, and it's all on Barter cards. So I go there for $250 a night, but I don't pay anything. So it's really good. I've done it in Queensland, like I said, Bali a lot, and yeah, I mean, there's some beautiful places, but my advice is to then refer back to TripAdvisor, because they are listed on TripAdvisor and some of them can be real shitholes. So don't get too excited with the flashy pictures, because, you know, as with all holidays, you know, they can kind of upsell it and that's not what you expect. So definitely read the reviews. And a lot of the time, not a lot of the times, sometimes they obviously increase the rates at popular periods, but that happens anyway. All right, cool. So that's a good way to save some money. All right, so let's talk about the real reason we're here. So Barter card property, I know people were talking about this on the WhatsApp group. So Barter card property, I find, is an amazing way to get into the market when you do not have as much cash deposit, and also when you want to build a portfolio, but you know, you kind of don't have excess kind of funds, you know, on hand. So let's just say you have built, you know, 20 websites and you've got 120 cash, Barter card, cash dollars. You're like, what am I going to do with it? 120 grand. What am I going to do with this? So if you go on to bartercardproperty.com.au, you are going to be able to find all the properties listed and sold that developers come to Barter card with, because obviously they have to sell, you know, a minimum prior to getting financed. And this is a good way for developers to kind of off-sell a few by flicking them off, you know, I guess trade-wise. So, so this is a great way. And then in regards to, sorry, Annie, sorry, there's someone at the door. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
One sec.
Maybe later on our system is closed, because I'm only using for 40 minutes a free Zoom meeting. So when it's closed by itself, then we come in again. We try to enter again with the same ID code. So that's what will happen. We don't know, never happen, but hopefully it will not. Now, so far, Barter card property, I think it's that's a good one, and that's the only one we want. Especially if we are trying to develop a property where we don't have any money. I think using these servers, it's one of them.
Don't worry, it was just the carpenter just forgot something. Okay. So 1,000 Barter card dollars, why wouldn't I flip that, Annie? Or why wouldn't I use that and hire it out to a tradie, or at least have it on hand for, you know, anything that I need? So yeah, you can buy, you know, furniture and yeah, motor vehicles. You can buy kitchens on there. So, which again brings me back to Barter card property. So anyway, so Barter card property, you can buy land, you can buy new developments, you can buy off the plan, and you can buy residential homes. You can also buy commercial buildings, you can buy storage units, you could buy commercial land to develop. So there's a lot of versatility on Barter card and BBX. I actually find BBX better for property. They just have kind of more range of property to kind of search through. But there's so much, and I think, you know, when it comes down to like what we're doing, trying to find, you know, massive kind of vacant blocks for us to kind of, you know, off-sell or flip to a developer, or, you know, try and kind of get that fee zone, whatever. There's a lot of untouched developments on Barter Card and BBX, so it's a good way to kind of broaden your you know, your opportunities when it comes to finding these land developments, etc. So it might not even be for your own property portfolio. It might be the fact that you want to, you know, flick it off. I haven't done that yet, but it's something on my list to do, and now I've told everyone about it. So we're all going to be calling the developers and the people on there. Yep. So, Aidan, did you have a question?
Yes, if you don't mind. First of all, sorry I had to step away for a few minutes earlier, but and maybe you answered to this question of mine at that, you know, while I was away. Is there any subscription fee for being a member of Barter Card? And
so,
would you say that it is kind of a, like I could promote my product on that website in a way, basically introducing my product, and maybe I will be actually getting some leads for my language courses?
Yes, 100%. So yes, there is a fee. There's no subscription fee. To advertise and to be on the directory is nothing, is zero. But if you get a client, you pay 10%. If you buy something, you pay 10%. So remember with property as well, guys, that comes into play, unfortunately. But I don't think it's 10%, to be honest. I think it's just a real estate fee. I'll have to check with my partner, and I can text the group afterwards, because that's probably an important question to answer. And then in regards to your product, I think it's a really good idea to test the market through something like this, because you're actually not paying any money for advertising. You're exposed to a database of thousands of businesses and people. You know, why not? Yeah, good idea, Aidan. So yeah, so back to Barter Card property. The beauty about it is they also offer financing. So if you're doing a lot of business through Barter Card, then or BBX, they're happy to offer finance. They do require some sort of equity to, just like any bank does, I guess, to obviously offer you this, you know, currency. But it's kind of a good way to, you know, kickstart, like I said, a property portfolio. We purchased some land in South Australia near the beach, and they've just been sitting there. And when we're ready to build on it, we'll build. But that cost us 80,000 Barter Card dollars to buy the land, and that's now obviously an asset in our portfolio when we didn't actually have to pay anything. So, like cash-wise, sorry. So yeah, I know it feels like, oh, you're doing this work and, you know, it's slowly creeping up there, but it's kind of, you don't know when these opportunities will kind of arise on Barter Card. I mean, there's a lot of crap on there as well, like a lot of, like, you know, things that, a lot of property and land that people want to just like kind of get rid of or fob off, but you just sift through it. So if you do want to go and look on there, on the website, you know, now or later or in bed or whatever, yeah, just go through and go, okay, well, that's in WA, that's near the beach, let me Google it, let me, you know, and then you're doing your research just like you are doing your research on a mass lands kind of, you know, proximity and land and whatever. So yeah, so do you have any questions so far on property?
Can I add this one, Alice? I think in the old time, people using this kind of thing, like people would like to buy something in the market, they just bring a rice to the market and replace with whatever.
Right.
Exactly this kind of thing. That's what I can figure out.
Absolutely, totally. There was another opportunity a couple of months ago that was in Queensland on there, and it was management rights. So it was 20,000 Barter card dollars, what they do is they do a cash percentage, trade percentage. We could probably flip it actually, flip the screen. That'll give me some hints on what I'm going to talk about. Next slide. Cool. Yeah, so a lot of the times it's, a 70% cash purchase and then a 30% BBX dollars purchase or barter card purchase. What I find is you can definitely have some leeway with negotiation and kind of bump that up to 30%. But that's where you have essentially built your equity in the property without doing anything, because you've paid it off by using your barter card or BBX dollars. So if you're going to buy, a home for 400,000 and, you've got your deposit of 80 grand, plus you've got, just say 20% of that, 80 grand was barter card or BBX dollars, then, at least $80,000 of that is now equity, because it's kind of like you've just kind of paid with barter card dollars and there you go. So the banks see it as that as well, which is, a plus. And yeah, it kind of takes a while to get up to having that kind of money, but once you've got one property or one chunk of land or something, that you've got more flexibility borrowing with barter card and BBX again. And it can be used as a deposit. Banks will see that as a deposit as well. David bought a property in a couple of suburbs, in a really nice suburb. I'm really annoyed that he sold it, but hey, it was before my time with him, so all good. But it was in a beautiful suburb in Adelaide, and he purchased it 40% barter card and then 60% cash. And then obviously 5 years later, 6 years, whenever he sold it, you're collecting that money. You've got to watch out for capital gains. I completely understand that. But, you've kind of made that money back in cash, not credits, which is good. So I've been looking for, a property in Sydney lately, and I've been always referring back to barter card, because they do have off the plan properties on there, and you've just got to wait. Like, you can't be in a rush. You have to be patient with it, because like I said, there's a lot of crap out there on there, but they do pop up. And then there's obviously things that you've got to look out for when you look at apartments and strata, and if they're in another city, how are you going to maintain it, etc., etc. But what is good, I guess, is finding homes or apartments that can be used for rentals. So another good thing about barter card and BBX is then looking at finding handyman and tradespeople in the area that can do jobs for you, that are all on trade. So that's, again, like I said, with the kitchen, they're selling $5,000 kitchens at the moment. Obviously, they've got excess stock, this company, they want to get rid of it, they're doing it by trade. So, and there you go. There's your, increased value in a property, but you haven't paid anything for it. So, David always says, it's not free money. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's not, though. You are paying for it. I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, a lot of the times it's pre-development stage. So therefore you can find some good bargains. But like I said, my advice is to really look at the area, and look at what you're using this for and what purpose you're using this property or this land for. If you do want to develop on the land, again, you can find builders on there. So yeah, there's some good finds on there. You just kind of got to sign up and go through the directory. And I wouldn't limit it to your state only, because a lot of things, if you call them up and they're in another state, you'll be surprised, what contact they have, or can they get it shipped or sent to, Adelaide. We just bought 2 mattresses for our spare room on there from from Brisbane, and then they got shipped down, and yeah, completely free. All good, but not free, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, so does anyone have any questions? All good? Makes sense, everyone? So if you want to join...
Hi, Elise, sorry, there is one question.
Yeah.
What I wanted to understand is if you buy a property from Barter card or BBX, how do you pay the stamp duty? Is it like cash? That part is taken care by the cash because...
Yeah. So stamp duty is paid on the cash component. We've never paid it on... So I know it's like, it's the value of the property. I don't think Dave's ever paid it on the Barter card. Can I text you in a minute and answer that question for you? Because that's a really good question. I need to ask him. Shall I ask him now? Hang on. All right, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, you can always
I get it.
Always answer later. Yeah.
Thanks, Raj.
Yeah, you can always let us know on the group.
Yeah, I will. All right, cool. Any other questions?
That's really good question though, from Raj.
It is. I need to know that because stamp duty is a pain in the ass. So it's expensive. So I will definitely text that to the group afterwards. Absolutely. In regards to joining, any other questions? No. In regards to joining, basically, obviously, because we're members, we have a referral system, so I can refer you to it if you PM me after. Otherwise, there's an account manager in every city, and you can just go onto the website. But I think you get some free credits if you go through another member. So I'm happy to send you the link. Yeah, awesome. Any other questions? No, all good. Hopefully I've helped you all out, and you can see how this system is really good to kind of boost your business and your network. Yeah. Cool, guys.
Thank you for your time, Elise. It was really great.
Anytime. I'll definitely get back to you in regards to the stamp duty as well, Raj. Annie, you're on mute. All right, cool.
Do you have any question, Parsi? Oh no, hang on, I will unmute you. Can you unmute yourself, please? I cannot do it from here. I could not unmute you. I could not unmute some Farsi, so. Oh, hang on. Maybe I can go through from here. Unmute all. Oh, I can't do it. Farsi, if you have any question, then you can always pop in on the at the group your question.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Now you got it. Sorry, now you got it when you say okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, do you have a
okay, now you hear me.
Do you have any question for Alice?
Yes. Yes, I was going to ask, first of all, thank you very much, Alice, for the presentation. My question is about doing pre-sales through Barter card. I hold a block of land, which I have the planning approval to develop. The bank is asking for one pre-sale, and someone has approached me for buying a unit, or actually he's saying that if I'm comfortable with Barter card arrangement, he would consider buying all of them from me. But the whole concept was new to me. That's why I wanted to learn about it. And I want to know if I sell, if I do a pre-sale, to this buyer through barter card arrangement, will my bank, how my bank will look into it? If he gives me his 20 or 30% deposit in the form of a barter card, will my bank accept it as like a real deposit? And later on, how can I convert this back to cash? Because I need to use it for my finance or other expenses. Because when I looked at ATO website, they consider every $1 barter dollar, they treat it like $1 Australian dollar, and I have to pay tax on it. So I was wondering, first of all, is this money, is this 20-30% deposit in the form of a barter card dollar considered as a real deposit by bank? And secondly, will I be able to convert it into Australian dollar?
Unmute.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi. So in regards to the banks, it's really hit and miss depending on what banks. The second part of your question I can answer. The first part of your question I want to again get clarification because I don't want to be giving you the wrong advice. But you will not be able to convert it into Australian dollars. That's I guess the whole point of the system is that the money is kept in the system. So the money, the 20, was it 20,000 or 20,000, 30% that he wanted to give you in barter card dollars?
30%.
30%, yeah, okay, cool. So you will not be able to, convert that into dollars. If you do go through him, that is just going to then end up being a credit on your kind of, your account, which is good because then obviously you can then go and buy property with that as well. But in regards to them, in regards to the banks seeing that as money, I am 99% sure that they don't. They want, an actual dollar on that. So if he can come up with anything else, as a deposit, as well as the kind of barter card, because that's between you and him, not the bank, if you know what I mean. But again, I wanna give you the right answer for that. So I don't want to say, oh yeah, the banks will see it when they don't. So, but all I know is you cannot convert it you won't be able to convert it to Australian, to the dollars. But again, there is benefits of having that as it keeps your next property purchase down. If you are to go down the avenue of buying on barter card. But yeah, in regards to converting it, nah, sorry, no deal. No deal.
Okay.
But I will ask them in regards to will banks. I'm just gonna, I'm making 2 notes, so the banks and the stamp duty. Because I don't want to leave any question unanswered, because this is good for me as well. Cool.
Okay, great.
No drama. So, but in regards to that, I would probably consider, have you got any other offers?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, and he wants to buy all of them?
He approached me with the view of buying one, but when he started talking about like how he wants to purchase, he said, if you accept this arrangement, I would consider buying all of them.
Okay, so it must be a hot deal then. Where is it? What city?
That's in Perth.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of real estate on Perth on Barter Card and BBX. So consider it, but only consider it when you've got my answers back. Okay.
Okay.
So
all right.
anyone got a question?
That's it.
It seems like every question has already answered. Hopefully, like if you don't have any question, just put any at the group. So Elise,
yeah, definitely. Just on the group. All right, thank you everyone. I really appreciate you coming, and hopefully you've learned a bit tonight.
Thank you very much. You're going very well, Elise. Great.
All right, bye guys.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much, Alice. Thanks a lot.
Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
We do. You paid it before.